How well does my dividend portfolio stack up against the entire stock market as a whole, especially in December, which is a big month for dividends? Let's find out, and let's see exactly how much money $10,500 got me in terms of dividends. This is my best month yet. Jumping into the spreadsheet, there's kind of a lot to see here this month, but the long and the short of it is that this whole middle section here that I've highlighted are all the dividends I've gotten. We've had some big boys this month. $30 from JEPI, $44.56 from SPYD. This has been an excellent month. Then we've also had the regular suspects who've been around and give us a few dollars here and there. Weekly gives us our 2 cents a week. Kind of a waste of time, but he's hanging around. He's that friend nobody likes, but he's here anyway. And I really only reinvested $2 this month, and I bought a little bit of PSEC, but I didn't technically buy anything new in December that would affect a December dividend. And so for now, we're going to just calculate our yearly rate and our percentages versus the whole stock market as it is. And then I'll describe how I transferred over as many stocks as possible from my other accounts into Robinhood to get a bonus. So that means for the month of December, I got total dividends of $94.59. That's like actual money. That's pretty satisfying. That is real dollars that you could do something with. That means this period's return just for this month alone, this isn't in an APY situation, this is only a monthly return, was almost 1%, which is pretty awesome. And if you translate that into a yearly rate, so if that was the same rate that I got for the entire year, it would be 11.1%. That's the stuff that dividend dreams are made of. That's so exciting. But how does that compare with the stock market? Because we also had a pretty good month in the stock market. So would I have been better off doing what I did, which was dividend investing, or should I have just gone for pure growth and invested in something like the S&P 500 or something else? Let's fact check it and see. So if I look back at the past month of just the S&P 500, it's gone up 2.95% in the last month, which is basically from December 4th till now. And for 1 month of growth, that's pretty ridiculous. The NASDAQ was also totally ridiculous in December, going up 2.87%. But how does that stack up for the whole year? If I take each month individually and average that out for the whole year, then all the dividend investing I've done so far has gotten me an 8.08% return. And that's only really counting the dividends themselves. So I'm saying the cash flow coming off of my dividend portfolio has been just over 8%. There's been a tiny bit of growth, but by and large, the stocks are not really growing. They're just sort of sitting there kicking off income. So I might be up at 9 or 10% best case scenario. How does that compare to the S&P 500? I think we all know what's going to happen here. The last year of the S&P 500 has been ridiculous. 22.1% for the last year. This has been one of the top years for the S&P 500 ever. This is one of the best years the stock market has had. And so this is one of those tricky things where you go, in hindsight, I would have made significantly more money had I just thrown it in an index fund. But there's those other times when the S&P 500 doesn't do that well, and these other companies can still pay a dividend. And so it's just one of those tricky things to predict. I think we've got to do what we've decided to do, whether or not we're seeing signals one way or the other, because we just can't predict the future. So this is a little piece of our overall portfolio. It's not a significant chunk. By and large, most of what we have invested is going to benefit from something like the NASDAQ or the S&P having a really great year. So we're still riding that wave. We're still receiving that benefit. I'm not like an all-in dividend investor. This is just some money that's there on the side to see what happens with. But I did transfer money over from another investing service into Robinhood, got a bonus, and significantly increased the size of my Robinhood portfolio. So let's talk about that now. And I think I'll do a whole separate video about this too, because I ran into a little problem when I was trying to transfer this stuff over from M1 Finance to Robinhood, and it was pretty disappointing. So I'll talk about that in the other video. What I did transfer was 41 shares of SCHD, 335 shares of SPHD, and 51 shares of T, which is just AT&T. And so what that meant was $18,191 worth of stocks was moved from my M1 Finance account over into my Robinhood account. And so because Robinhood has that promotion going on where you get a 1% bonus of whatever you transfer with no cap, I had to take advantage of that, which means that I got $181 just deposited in my account. It was just sitting there as buying power. And at first I was like, wait, what is this for? Somehow I knew it was happening and I still didn't recognize it. And I was like, why do I have $180? That's like a lot of dividend money. That's months of dividends all piled up in there. And then it occurred to me, oh, this is the bonus. The one thing I wish Robinhood had done was like make that really obvious and go, hey, here's your bonus. Check this out. Look what we did for you. Like pat us on the back. And they deserve some recognition for that. But instead I had to kind of like hunt through the settings and the menus to find like, oh, it's a deposit bonus. There it is. And it showed it clearly labeled as such, but you really had to dig for it. And so I had an extra $181 just sitting there. And so technically towards the end of December, I bought 18 more shares of AGNC, which I just got for free. I mean, technically, is it my money that I had to choose to invest? Yes. I could have pulled it out and put it in the burrito and race car fund, and it would have been worthwhile and good. But because I'm committed to growing my dividend portfolio and spitting off some awesome cash, I just treated it like it was dividend money and reinvested it right away. So now that makes the math a little bit more tricky because I feel like my money that I have invested in this account as of December 2023 is still only $10,225. The $181 from Robinhood, it was really their money. It's like I'm playing with house money now. I'm not really playing with my own paycheck money here. It was a bonus. You can do that accounting however you want. Technically, once it hit my account, it is my money. It's income like anything else. I chose to invest it. It was just already there. So we're going to go ahead and count that towards the overall amount that I've invested now. But I'm not going to total it here until the month of January because really for these dividends to start hitting with both the transfer and with that bonus, and so it's going to take between 1 and 3 months for those new dividends to hit based on this transfer and based on that bonus. So it's going to be a little while before our percentage really reflects that giant amount of money. Because if I factored in that extra 18 grand now, it would look like the December dividends were low. That's really not what happened. So kind of keeping it separate there so that the math is clean. But as you can see, the Robinhood portfolio is looking pretty healthy right now. We're knocking on the door of $30,000. I almost wanted to deposit a little bit more just to get me over that limit of $30,000 just because I was like, that number feels good to reach that number. But what we are doing going forward for the month of January, check back in here in a few weeks to see how this video goes. A subscriber had asked, hey, what would happen if you deposited $5 per day? And you just dividend invested at $5 per day, the same thing every day, and you just committed to doing that. So that's what I'm doing now. I've set that up as an automatic thing. I deposited basically $150 into Robinhood. So as that cash just sits there, it's earning some money, which is great for me. And then every day, it's going to go ahead and automatically invest $5. And just for clarity, since the stock market's only open 5 days per week, that means I'm investing $25 per week. And it's going to be very painless because it's just $5 a day. So it's like cheaper than lunch. But I'm happy to entertain. If somebody's got a suggestion like that, I'll definitely consider it. If you want to have a little more clout in the comments and have me see your comments first, make sure I see your video suggestions, that kind of thing, and see some behind the scenes of how videos are made, you can check out channel memberships here on YouTube and you'll get special access to videos before everyone else. So as soon as they're done and basically on the YouTube system, you'll get access immediately, like within a minute. Everyone else is going to have to wait between a day and a week, depending on my posting schedule. So you'll get early access. It's kind of like a private viewing party for any other members to see it first. You'll have your own kind of comment section that you'll see. Everyone's kind of here watching it together, commenting. Then when it goes public, then the rest of the world will be able to see it. And I don't expect to make any significant money off this. It's like a few dollars a month. It's not a big deal. The point is that if you want access to more and more behind the scenes kind of things, it doesn't make sense to post those videos on this channel for the world to see. It's more like a private thing between you and I that, hey, you want to know more of what's happening with me. You want to know more access into my investing philosophy in my life and what I'm actually investing my money in. I'll reveal my entire portfolio in there for you quarterly so you can see what that is. Just a little extra access if you want it. It's available to you. It's almost been an entire year of dividend investing. It's pretty exciting. I made the first deposit in here, $704 way back on January 15th of 2023. I can't believe it's already been almost a year. It's January 3rd as I record this, so it's amazing to me that it's already been that fast. In 2 more weeks, it'll be a year technically. So this series is almost coming up on its anniversary already, which is very exciting. And I'm curious to know from you. Leave me a comment. See your comment word for the day. Do you want to keep doing this? Should we keep making these monthly update videos? Or is this something that we should just relegate to like the members only section? Nobody really cares except for the people who really care. So we'll keep it separate. Or do you want to keep seeing these updates? Let me know. Until I see you again, happy investing. See you later. Happy New Year. Bye.